Hey guys, and welcome to Quality Shot. If you haven't already, please make sure you like, comment, share the vids, and of course subscribe. Okay, let's go straight into this. So Triple G versus Szeremeta for the IBF middleweight title. So GGG facing his mandatory in Szeremeta. Before we go into the fight, GGG looked very good on the scales beforehand. Um, Probably in the best shape I've seen him in for a very long time, to be honest with you. I think he said that he'd never had a strength and conditioning coach or hadn't done strength and conditioning as part of a camp. And this is the first time he had done it. And you could notably see a difference in his physique, just looking a lot more lean and ripped and muscular. But he also said that previously he had been going to Big Bear, obviously, in long periods. And he said maybe the altitude was affecting him, so that it was almost like overtraining for when it came to fight night. So, look, I mean, that was when he was with Abel Sanchez. Now he's with Jonathan Banks, and it was interesting to see how he would get on. Szeremeta, as I've said in my preview, hasn't really fought anyone. He's undefeated though, only 5 knockouts on the record. But to be fair, 3 out of those 5 knockouts had come in the last 5 fights. So look, I mean, he obviously either gaining a little bit of power or was something he's been working on. Anyway, so let's go into the fight then, because I thought personally that GGG was pretty impressive, and it's difficult because Szeremeta, look, you could tell there was a obvious golfing class, and look, the golf in class was very, very evident. Let's say that, and so to say whether it was a very good performance by GGG, it's difficult to say that, but I think he obviously got the job done, and I personally didn't think he looked worse in this fight, if that makes sense. And maybe it was the opponent, but I mean, one thing that I think he has always done well is throw a lot of jabs. And Gabe Rosado said that his jab isn't really like a normal jab; it's almost like a power punch. That's how powerful it is. I think Gabe Rosado, he has fought Triple G in the past, and yes, in the first round, it was like almost a jabbing match, and the last 30 seconds or so, though, where Szeremeta suddenly he just opened up and he tried to hit GG with a flurry of punches, and GG countered with a beautiful counter left hook that ended up dropping Szeremeta, just completely, basically threw him off Szeremeta's feet, threw Szeremeta off his feet, and he crashed the canvas. And that kind of was the start and theme of the fight, to be honest with you. That Szeremeta just was very ineffective. GG working that jab really well and then throwing power punches off that. And to be honest with you, it was almost a punch perfect performance. He got caught with a couple of shots, but not as many as I think I'm used to seeing him get hit with. If that makes sense. I think he's been very reliant on his chin. I thought his head movement was a bit better today. Today. And yeah, I just think in the fight he was just very, very solid. And it was good to see him at 38 still looking very, very dangerous. In the second round, again, he dropped him Szeremeta with the overhand right, this time clipping his ear. And it was a weird one because Szeremeta seemed to almost lose his equilibrium, and it took him about a couple of seconds to actually register the punch, and then he ended up kind of crashing to the canvas again. So there's a bit of a delayed reaction. The fourth round, GGG again dropped him, but this time they were in a clinch, and he basically threw a very short left uppercut, and dropped Szeremeta again. And to be honest, it was all GGG, very dominant performance. And then in the seventh round, this is what maybe why Rosado said it previously, but clearly GG has a very good, powerful jab. It's not a rangefinder; it's just an extremely powerful shot that he throws with purpose, similar to anyone from the UK who's watching this, and some guys from the US might know, but Daniel Dubois, who recently lost to Joe Joyce, but his jab is not a rangefinder. He doesn't really mix up. It is a piston jab that he'll throw, and it's the difference in class was there for everyone to see. And at the end of that seventh round, the ref waves it off. Record 21st title defense of a middleweight title for Triple G. He'll be very happy with that. I know he wanted to. Originally, they were going to do it in Kazakhstan, but look, I mean, he'll be happy with the performance, I think. And after they asked him, look, who do you want next? And he said, look, whoever's best for me. And he said, I hope the show tomorrow. So referencing Canelo and Callum Smith is good. And we'll see from there. So I think he might be targeting the winner of that. And if you want my personal opinion, I know he looked good on the scales, but I'd like to see GG move up to 168 because I just think he's done everything at 160. And I think now that maybe he's got that record title defense, record 21st title defense, he might be thinking, look, I've only got however many fights left. Let's just go up to 168, try and win a world title, two or whatever, get the big fights there, and then just call it a day. So that's what I would like to see him do. Whether he does it or not, we'll see. But there's lots of good fights at 168 or 160 for him. So we'll see whether he does get the winner of that. We'll see. We'll see. I think someone mentioned, so I think it was Box Talk Lade said that Billy Joe should fight, or was it someone said, I think it was him, said Billy Joe should fight Triple G, and then the winner of that will fight the winner of Callum Smith and Canelo. I thought that would be really, really good. So let's see though how it goes. I mean, Billy Joe Saunders has always wanted the Triple G fight, and to be honest with you, that's actually not a bad shout because by moving up to 168, he'll get a shot if he fights Billy Joe Saunders because Billy Joe Saunders has got the WBO super middleweight title. So to be honest, that's actually a pretty logical decision to make. If he doesn't get Canelo next, he should fight Billy Joe, and then that gives him a little bit of bargaining power with Canelo because especially if Canelo does win against Callum Smith, then he's got 2 out of the 4 belts. Then the other person who's got it is Caleb Plant. And look, David Benavidez, we know, obviously had the WBC, but was stripped of it in a very kind of controversial because he didn't make weight, etc. But Caleb Plant's got the other one. So, say, for example, Canelo beats Caleb Plant, then you could have Canelo versus GGG for all the belts at 168, if obviously they win their respective fights, because that's no easy feat. So, yeah, I mean, I cannot wait, to be honest with you, for Canelo Callum Smith tomorrow or tonight. Triple G, though, I think looked pretty good. Good to see him get a very good victory, and I think looks solid. I don't think it's anything to kind of shout, from the rooftops about, but I think it was very, very solid. I think from Triple G, and hopefully, would he do well against Canelo in a third fight? I'm not so sure. I don't know how much. I don't think GG is the prime fighter he once was. But we'll see. We'll see. Still look pretty good, and obviously can still bang, as we saw. Power's the last thing to leave you. So I think it's more to do with the other aspects of his game. I think his head movement, etc., against the elite. But let's see how he goes. But very good victory for him. And yeah, I think that's all I've got to say on it, to be honest with you. So please look out for my review on the Callum Smith Canelo fight, and of course I've done a preview on it. Check it out if you haven't already. Okay, thanks very much, guys. Stay safe, and of course, if you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, and share the vids. Thank you very much. It really does help. So thank you for those who have already as well. And I'll see you on the next video. Thanks very much, guys.